So these figures are slightly worse than expected.
They are. They're what's called the second release. That is to say, we've already had these figures once before, and now they've been revised to reflect new data. And they have been revised down, as you said. So both for the last two quarters, what we've got here is somewhat worse than what we were originally told a couple of months ago. And this is something that actually tends to happen as the UK goes into a recession. We quite often see the initial figures revised down. That happened in 2008 as well. And this shows that, yes, as you said, our current level of output is now significantly lower than it was at the start of the pandemic. And it also shows that household incomes have been falling. And so in a sense, there'll be a lot of talk of, are we actually in a recession? What's the definition of recession anyway? But the fact that actual household incomes have been falling in real terms suggests that as far as households are concerned, yes, we are definitely in a recession.
And explain to us, if you can, which sectors particularly are struggling?
The sectors that are probably struggling most are, first of all, manufacturing and production. So the manufacturing sector is doing badly, as it has been for some time. There have also been, for some sectors within the service sector. So, of course, the service sector is by far the largest part of the economy overall. So some sectors are doing better than others. And the sectors that are doing worst are what you might call the sort of customer or consumer facing sectors. So we have sectors like business and professional services, information and communication, the city, those are doing okay, whereas things like arts and recreation, wholesale and retail trade, transportation, they're doing less well. So it's sort of back to obviously not nearly as bad as it was during the pandemic, but some of those customer-facing sectors are not doing as well, and that probably reflects just that people don't feel that they have as much money to spend for obvious reasons.
And also, Professor, thinking about the hospitality industry, the retail figures we saw the other day weren't so good. The rail strike presumably is going to impact this and make it even worse for those sectors.
Yes, and of course, that's not really in these sets of figures to any significant extent, because this covers only the third quarter. So we are now, of course, almost at the end of the fourth quarter. So in that sense, these figures are a little bit out of date. The fourth quarter will show the impact of the rail strikes as well. That's likely to reduce output. As well as some of the other strikes. So in a sense, we've probably got some more not particularly good news to come.